Welcome back to Man Down Sports. As you can see from the thumbnail, we're going to recap the Oklahoma City Thunder, SGA, led by SGA, versus the Minnesota Timberwolves, led by Anthony Edwards, and their Game 5 Western Conference Final matchup, which ended up being a freaking blowout. So OKC pulls off the gentleman's sweep, and just like SGA, leave it to him to be a perfect gentleman on a night like tonight, where, it was a series they probably could have got over in 4, but you was like, you know what? I'm going to be a gentleman. Let y'all get one game. That's why we call it a gentleman sweep, y'all. That is exactly why we call it a gentleman sweep, folks. Because some people are just nice enough to, make sure you get one game and not embarrass you, right? So, I mean, SGA pulls off the gentleman sweep, man. MVP, league MVP. He just racking up the accolades this season. League MVP, best record in the league, 68 wins, scoring title. A record 4 30-point blowouts in the playoff series. Oh, not a series, but a playoff season. That's a record. And then the Irvin Magic Johnson Western Conference trophy, MVP trophy, he's getting that. So we'll see what happens in this next series, whether they're playing the Indiana Pacers or the New York Knicks. Can he get 2 more trophies, which is the finals, the win? Can he get the win? And then can he get finals MVP? That's going to be very interesting. Irvin Magic Johnson trophy, the Jeffrey Jordan MVP trophy for the league, scoring title, best record in the league, 4 30-plus point blowouts in the playoffs, and headed to the finals, man. That is big time stuff. That is big time stuff, right? So my question to everybody is, do y'all still hate that dude? Are you not entertained? Are you enjoying the show that they're putting on? You're enjoying. Don't miss the forest for the trees, right? Don't miss the forest for the trees. You're looking over here. You should be looking over here. You should be looking through the trees, or not even looking through it. Just enjoy the whole forest. Just enjoy all of it, right? This is phenomenal basketball that's being played. Defense, equal opportunity offense, offense where the best player comes off the ball enough for someone like Jalen Williams to cook. An offense where a big man can thrive in, like Chet. An offense where they're not shooting tons of threes, like 63s from the defending champion Boston Celtics in the playoff game. No wonder they at the crib, right? They didn't play the right way. They played the right way to win it, and then they came back and fell in love with the 3-ball, just like Anthony Edwards fell in love with the 3-ball this season. And in this playoff series, he fell in love with the 3-ball. He was 1 for 70 or something like that, 1 for 7 tonight. SGA only shot 4. He shot 50%, 2 for 4. It don't take that much. As long as I'm a threat from 3, I can hit it. There's no need for me to keep jacking it up. It was bad basketball when I was coming up to shoot threes like that, especially shooting threes without the ball touching the paint first. No feet touching the paint. There's no paint on the bottom of your shoe, so to speak. No feet touching the paint, and the 3 is going up. That was always a no-no for any coach that coached me. We knew that was a no-no. We just didn't shoot it. If they was playing a zone on us, they're really inviting you to shoot threes, but that's a trap, right? So you still have to move the ball from side to side. The ball it might start on the left side against a zone. You have to move the zone. Like, the zone can't just sit there and then you jack a 3 up. You can't just throw the ball in the post either against a zone. You have to move the zone, right? So if I start the ball on the left side, I've got to kick the ball. I got to drive and attack the gaps, kick the ball out, and the ball has to reverse sides, because when you get the ball going this way, the whole zone kind of turns that way, and then when it comes back and revert, if you drive and kick and you're able to get the ball to reverse sides, the entire zone has to change, and then that's when you can attack the gaps and probably get a layup, probably get a run in the paint, a mid-range, or If they collapse and when you attack the gaps, you're going to have a shooter open. That's how you get your threes. Not high screen and roll and let me jack something up if they in drop coverage. And like the comment that Anthony Edwards made after the last game, not game 5, but game 4 when they lost game 4 by 2. And he only had 13 shots that he took, 13 shot attempts. And he said that he didn't struggle. He didn't get enough shots up, but he didn't get enough shots up because he was making the right basketball play. And I kept hearing people talk about it on ESPN and Fox and all that, and no one said the right thing. There was beating around the bush, kind of getting to it. But here's the correct way to say that. The right play cannot be the play that we're inviting you to make. Like the game plan was for Anthony Edwards to get the ball out of his hand. We will rather make you a passer and make these other guys shoot, and that's exactly what they did. DiVincenzo lights out from the 3. Alexander Walker lights out from the 3. McDaniels lights out from the 3. They played phenomenal. They got 60 points from their bench. Right? But you got 2 from Randall and you got barely 16 from the best player on the team, Edwards. So if our game plan is we're going to make the others beat us and you're never going to get going, that's not the right play can't be the game plan for the other team. The other team is saying, this is what we want you to do. And we're going to force you to do it. And you're doing it. The right play is to figure out how to get what you want as well. Because when you get what you want, guess what's going to happen? You're still going to be able to get them others involved because now the defense got to figure out how to stop you from getting what you want. And how you get what you want is saying, all right, they're doing this to me. They're doubling me off the high screen. Lou Dort is attached to me the whole time off the ball. You're not a Reggie Miller or a Rip Hamilton type player that's so like your muscles are bigger. You're going to get tired faster than someone like Reggie or Rip, right? There, when you're lean, you're made to run like a gazelle and run constantly like that. You're not conditioned for that. So trying to get Lou Dort off of you by trying to run through screens and doing everything you're doing is full speed. And that's what happens when your number one attribute is speed and athleticism and power. Because now you got to use speed, athleticism, and power to get every shot. Like you're running full speed for all your shots. Did y'all see how SGA was like walking to the mid range and then quick movement, step back, pull up, mid range? He was walking there, backing people down. Now I'm in the mid. You let me get to the mid range. No double came. Now I'm in the mid range. Now guess what I get to do? A quick jab into a jump shot. But meanwhile, Anthony Edwards is all the way 5 feet behind the 3-point line, trying to invite a high screen so he can run full speed to get his shot. And this is after he's ran away from the torture chamber for daggone 10 seconds trying to get open to finally get the ball so he can run full speed again to try to get a shot. But he ended up passing it to DiVincenzo, Naz Reid, Alexander Walker, and McDaniels pretty much the whole time. Right? That's what explosiveness gets you when you don't know how to use nothing else. What he was supposed to have been doing is saying, you know what? You attached to me. I'm taking your look. I mean, I know you stocky. I'm taking you right in the post. Give it to me in the post. And now in the post, y'all got to decide whether y'all want to double me or not. Because if you think I'm a scoring threat, you're double me way out here at the 3-point line. You really feel my dribble drive. But if I just get in the post, I'm already close to the rim. You might have to foul me. I might pick something up. Like they didn't try that enough. All right, well, let's just put him in the post. Let's let Conley run all the high screens, and let's let him run the point. Anthony Edwards, you're not going to get your stuff in this first half from dribble drive and high screens. They're like their game plan is for that. So not the right player is not playing right into the opponent's game plan. I mean, it was a 2-point win, but when you really look at it, them boys took the lead in the first quarter by 7. took the lead at halftime by 8 or 9 and never gave the lead up. Like they never get I don't even know if they ever trailed in that game. And I'm talking about OKC. They never trailed. So they jumped on them first quarter and just kept the lead. That's like the champ. That's like a boxer getting a knockout in the first round, knowing he's up on the scoreboards, and now all he do is just jab, 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 like Mayweather for the entire fight, and he just win by decision, and everybody complaining because, oh my God, Mayweather he never fought. He was just out there playing defense. That's how OKC played them. We got the lead. We just go keep it. Every time they went on the run, all right, now we're answer with a shot because we can get a good shot almost every time we want to. Y'all got to rely on spurts of getting hot after y'all done jacked up so many threes and jacked up so many, you know what I'm saying? So the 3-point is not the answer, man. I was listening to Jeff Teague, and that man said SGA saved basketball because what he's doing is a copycat league. So somebody is right now going back to the drawing board saying maybe the mid-range game is not dead. Maybe defense is not dead. Right? But I got something for y'all that love to hate on SGA. Y'all remember that Kobe commercial? After everybody was giving him so much hate. This for y'all.
I've been hating you.
The world's smallest violin. This is for y'all right here. As a matter of fact.
Too long.
Let's go here.
To stop now. You're retiring. But you want to be free. My hate was growing stronger as you became a habit to me. Don't make me stop now. I hate you.
All right, that's for y'all. World's smallest violin. Y'all can cry later. But yeah. Man, y'all hate that dude so much, man. I love it though. I love it. I don't know. Hey, so look, this remind me of something. I actually spoke about this on another episode. Y'all remember when I was telling y'all how Draymond Green tries to use his voice to kind of break up and coming teams, young teams, right? Especially the ones in the West. And I told y'all about the time when Ja Morant and the Grizzlies were up and coming, and they looked like they was gonna be a threat to the Warriors. They had a lot of battles with them during the regular season, and they won most of them, if I'm not mistaken. And Dylan Brooks used to always get into it with Draymond. And after one matchup, I think Dylan Brooks kind of trolled Draymond and said some stuff. And Draymond went on his podcast and went off on Dylan Brooks and was like, y'all got a clown over there, and y'all not gonna win with him with y'all. I remember the line he said was something along the lines of this. He said the dynasty doesn't begin with Dylan Brooks. Or he said don't include Dylan Brooks. He says to begin after Dylan Brooks. That's basically what he's saying. He rid of that clown. He hurting y'all, right? And then what ended up happening is that season the Lakers put them out, and it looked like the Grizzlies had control over that series until Dylan Brooks got interviewed in the post game and called LeBron James old. And when he called LeBron James old, I don't think they won another game after that. You know what I mean? The Lakers took back over the series and put him out. And people in the media was really talking about, why would you wake up this sleeping giant? Like y'all had control over the series. You had to go and open your big mouth. And then that Draymond Green comment really resonated with the Grizzlies. And when it was time to make the decision that summer whether to pay Dillon Brooks or let him walk, they let him walk. So Draymond Green planted that seed, and it came to bloom into them losing Dillon Brooks. And what happened as a result of that? The Grizzlies aren't competitive anymore, right? Smart by Draymond Green. He tried to do the same thing with the Thunder when they was starting to play good ball, right? And this is what he said on his podcast. I think this was earlier this season.
One thing I see with the OKC team that is a little alarming for me is like their post games, like 7 guys in the interview. Like there's a certain seriousness that it takes to win in this league, and there's a certain fear you have to instill in a team, in teams, in order to win. And I just don't know if they're instilling that fear in teams with all the bromance and stuff after the game. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Shai is on the verge of becoming like a superstar. I don't quite personally think he's a superstar yet, because superstar to me is worldwide. Everybody know you. And to me, there's only a few superstars in the NBA, but Shai has superstar level talent. However, just because you have superstar level talent doesn't always make you a superstar. And for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to take that next step, there are certain things that superstar does. Like, for instance, like I said, the interview, Shai, people want to hear what you got to say. They want to hear you speak. They want to hear your thoughts.
Bro, yeah.
Exactly. And they don't want to hear it with 7 guys in the background. They don't want to hear that because they're not actually getting to experience who Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is.
First of all, this is why that take was annoying, and this is why Draymond Green's show is annoying, right? His show when he first started had a lot of buzz because he used to say a lot of outlandish things, and sometimes he would get on his show after a game and talk about the game, which was really tacky to me. But that's what he was doing, and when he first started, it was kind of exciting to a lot of fans to be like, dang, a player that's currently playing, and he podcasts right after the game and talks about the game, and he's a big mouth, and it was, I guess it was a dramatic type soap opera for people at first, but now his podcast has lost some sting, right? So he felt like he needed to add some flavor to it, so he went and got Baron Davis. But here's the problem: Baron Davis, after every podcast I've ever watched of Draymond Green with Baron Davis, it doesn't matter what Draymond Green says, I've never heard Baron Davis disagree. Like, I've never heard him disagree. And imagine the people that disagree with what Draymond Green just said, and you got a co-host, and both of y'all agree on everything, so you never get to hear the other side of something. That's why I like my girl Sports T so much, because she challenges me, she challenges the whole panel, because there's a lot of things that we don't agree on. There's a lot of things we do agree on, though. But we do agree on a lot. But when we don't agree, we don't fake it. I'm not just because you my friend doesn't mean I'm going to agree with everything you say. And that's what Baron Davis is doing. He agrees with everything. And what Draymond Green just said was something stupid. Like, the Warriors built their camaraderie the way they built it. Nobody came in and said, we don't like the way Draymond takes up for Steph, or Draymond hugs Steph, or the way they go and hang out after the game, or the way they celebrate in the locker room. Like, they done some things that was crazy. That they had like a at the press conference, Steph Curry said the Cleveland Cavs locker room still smell like champagne because they won on their floor, and champagne. You know what I'm saying? Like, those type of funny things at the post game. They laughing, inside jokes. You get what I'm saying? Like, I think they had like a cake with with all the people from the Cavs on it, and LeBron, some cupcakes or something like that with like LeBron face on it or something. Like they did silly stuff too. Nobody's coming and telling them, oh man, y'all ain't real champions because nobody fear y'all because y'all celebrate together. These dudes have found a way to stay together, and they've been doing it for 2 or 3 years. What built camaraderie amongst one. Like, look at them. Do it look like anybody's mad at each other on that team? There's any jealousy? Does it look like they don't know what the hierarchy is? You get what I'm saying? Does it look like one of the key players need to punch somebody at practice? Like, is somebody jealous that somebody's about to get a contract? Ain't none of that going on. And they built camaraderie with the way they did it. You can't knock a team for building camaraderie and chemistry the way they build it. That's why they're so potent. Right? That's why they're so potent. Right? So SGA as a leader has his way of building camaraderie with his team, and he did it, and they continue to do it. If they would have listened to Draymond Green, because he feel like he's the end all be all because he's won rings with the Warriors. So when he started talking about winning the ring, like I hate when he get on TNT and try to trump what Charles Barkley say because Charles Barkley don't have rings. Like, it's cool when Shaq do it a little bit. It's corny when Shaq do it, but at least Shaq got his rings by being the number one, or at the very least the number two on his championship teams. Draymond Green got his rings by being Flavor Flav of basketball, the hype man of basketball, the screen setter for Steph Curry, the hit man. He's the hockey player with no stick. He's just riding around there tackling people. Like, he ain't even got a stick. We know he ain't out there to score. He just out there to elbow people and shoulder check them. He probably don't even know how to skate. Like, that's the equivalent of basketball, hockey player he is in basketball. Put him out there with no stick and rollerblades on the ice. That's basically what he is. Right? He just a hired muscle. So how you go tell somebody your word matters more than somebody like Barkley? But that's a whole nother topic, right? But he feel like his word is so important that he can tell young up and coming teams how they need to win and how they need to build camaraderie, and nobody's gonna take you serious and no one's gonna fear you. I bet like hell nobody wanted to play OKC in the play. Well, you know what? They probably did. They probably felt like since Dallas beat them last year, they wasn't ready. They was too young. So I get that. But not being afraid of them ain't got nothing to do with them doing post game interviews together. So I'm glad they kept doing it. Then he went on to say SGA not a superstar yet. Well, he got the MVP. He's got the MVP. And I haven't heard nobody talk about anybody but SGA in the last 2 weeks. Basketball wise, it ain't been a lot of LeBron talk. It ain't been a lot of Steph talk. It ain't been a lot of Golden State talk. It ain't been a lot of Jokic talk. It's rarely been any Anthony Edwards talk. Unless they talking about how he was getting dog walked by SGA and the difference between him and SGA. He's the talk of the town. The guy that everybody said was going to be the face of the league, Wemby, I ain't heard his name in a long time. This man, SGA, been first team all NBA for the last 3 years, and he should have won MVP last year, but he was the runner-up, and now he's the MVP, and now he also has a Magic Johnson MVP and a Western Conference Finals trophy to add to his repertoire, and now he's on the going to the finals to see if he can get more. Right? Let's open the phone lines up, y'all. Yeah, it's funny that Draymond Green, it didn't work. It didn't work. He tried it. Right? What they say, he tried it. He definitely tried it. Didn't work though. Didn't work. Let's get these phone calls in, y'all. Mel Gibson said, Mel, watch SGA coming close to surpass your GOAT MJ. I don't care if somebody passed MJ. SGA carried a bunch of young bums to a finals. Kobe has never. Kobe was carried by Shaq. It's time to admit SGA is better than Kobe. You can admit that. I'm not. Go right ahead though. I ain't gonna argue with you. You definitely can admit that. There was a lot of guys hurt in 16. Bogut, Iggy, Dre got suspended. That's half of the defense. Oh well. You know what they say. You know what I mean? Like when CP3 tore his hamstring off the bone, when the Rockets was about to put the Warriors out, ain't nobody make no excuses for the Rockets. They just came out and said James Harden couldn't get it done, right? So keep that same energy for Steph. Know your boy. What's up, big dog?
Salute, man. What a great game. Great way to close out the series. I called it 4-1, 4-0, but A&M did give me a scan in the third quarter. Like, Charles Barkley brought up a good thing, man. Too many threes. Use the athletic ability to get in the paint, inside out, get better looks at the three, stop settling. And he fell in love with it this game. If he didn't learn nothing else, he should have learned how SGA closed him out, how he got into his spots, how he just ain't rely on the three. And for the Raymond stuff, bro, the Raymond need to sit down. Like you said, his podcast caught a little traction because he's a 4-time champion. He played with one of the greatest shooters to ever lace up a pair of shoes. But if you think about it, like, they needed more from you. You try to be one of those 90s enforcers, but then y'all killed our era for having enforcers, calling them plumbers, from protecting our superstars or whatever. So it's always a double standard with this era, man, and I just don't understand why he got to come out and say anything. Like, that was a great point you brought up in that interview. Like, they can't win that way. That's what team players do. Like, team players stick together. It ain't just me out there. You know what I mean? So if all my people want to come on the podium, let them come. Let them say their piece.
But see,
I'm not the star of the team.
But look, James, this the thing though. This the thing. Draymond Green knows that because that's the Warriors built camaraderie that in a similar way, but not the same way. But he knows that. That's why he's trying. That's why he see that there was an up and coming team. He was trying to jump ahead of that and see if he can plant a seed of doubt to make them doubt themselves and stop doing something that was actually beneficial to their team.
Yeah.
That was an evil thing he did. He didn't say that because he really thought that was a bad thing. He said that because he really wanted them to stop doing it. That would show weakness if they listened to something he said on his podcast and actually implemented it. That's when he know. No, they weak over there.
To me, that's like trying to trick them out their spot. But like I said, they got a good thing going. I'm glad, like you said, I'm glad they didn't listen to him. But ain't got a lot to learn, bro. This your second time losing in the Western Conference Finals. So you going through growing pains right now. And I know you hear the criticism. I know you hear the whirlwind that's going around about your game and your style of play when you go against certain teams. You got to stay aggressive. We knowing you to be aggressive attacking the paint. Now, all of a sudden, you taking 10 threes a game. Come on, man. That's not your game. You built off athleticism. Jordan said it best. That'll take away from all the other things I do best. Now, you're just trying to concentrate on one thing when you do multiple things better than just that one thing.
Correct.
So why train your game and play with the analytics numbers and, it's a three-point shoot league. You trying to show a person you better. Like he said, look, they complain about the threes that I take, but I'm also making them at a high clip. But you ain't gonna do that every game, man. You still have to mix it up.
Exactly.
You still have to mix it up, man. Stay aggressive. And he got exposed, man. I'm not gonna lie. All that Jordan stuff, please stop comparing this man to Jordan.
I already spanked myself for that. Even though I wasn't
myself up too.
But look, even though I wasn't comparing him to Jordan, all I said was all I said. Nope. This is what I said because when they first said it last year, I was like, look, I like Ant-Man, and we did a show on that, and we all said, nah, he not Jordan, but I get what they're saying, right? But this what I said before the series started. I said this is the closest thing we would see to Kobe versus Mike, and I was just speaking on the athletic. I said Edwards has the athleticism of Mike and a little bit of his technical skill, and SGA has most of Kobe's technical skill with a little bit less of his athleticism. And I was like, they got similar things that they do. I said, but this is the closest we'll see to a Kobe versus Mike in the playoffs. I never compared SGA wholly to Kobe, and I never compare Edwards wholly to Michael Jordan. But I'll say this though, and I really do think people need to take the Anthony Edwards thing down a couple of notches to about Michael Finley. He can fit those shoes. He's Michael Finley until he rises above that.
Yeah, I like Michael Finley. I like his game. Then you got to think about this too, bro. The way the Thunder play, I haven't seen a team play like that in a long time. The thing that makes me proud of that team, SGA don't have to get off all the time first. Because when you got a co-star like a J-Dub and a cast members like that you have built around you, when you know you could get your shot off, feed the people. Let them feel the rock. Let them get in touch with the game. Let them get the rhythm of the game. Try to get to the free throw line. Like, if you can't hit nothing, they say you get to the free throw line, the basket get bigger once you see it go in.
Correct.
And I've seen a lot of greats do that, especially in the moments of Western Conference Finals, the finals, they struggle, and then they got themselves to the free throw line to get themselves going. I don't see that with Minnesota, but with this team and the OKC Thunder, the reason why I called it in 5, they really play team, but I haven't seen no team play like this in a while, man. That's all I'm saying. And
impressive impressive on both sides of the floor. And look, this whole playoffs for them have been a test of, like, they've had different adversities hit them and different tests placed on their desk that they passed with flying colors. Right. I ain't gonna say the Denver was the hardest test that they had to take. But going game 7 and blowing them out like that and rising to the occasion in game 7 shows that they passed with flying colors. Now, they started out a little bumpy because they dropped game 1 and lost home court advantage, and they had game 1 won, and they gave it up in the last 2-3 minutes, right? That was them. That was their adversity against probably one of the toughest teams in the Western Conference, right? So that was their adversity, and that was the harder task. Minnesota didn't have that much adversity. They played the Warriors, and Steph got hurt, and they never got challenged and tested it. They never got tested, and they didn't even pass that.
You think that had something to do with them not being able to rebound, like in games that they like? Because the other game that just happened, what that was game 4, that reminded me of 90 style. Even though it was still kind of high in points, they let them play for defensively. They weren't calling cheap fouls. They was letting them bang each other up, push around, get position. And they almost pulled it off. But when SGA and them beat them by 2 points, I didn't expect no blowout, but I did expect them to win game 4 because the way they won game 3, like you say, the hardest test was in the second round. So I'm against all odds now. I done beat the favorite to come out the West, if you ask me.
Correct.
As far as the championship and experience. So the Timberwolves really playing it our game. We want them to jack up all them threes because the percentage is when they shoot 40 plus threes, they got to at least go 50 or 40%. And OKC defense just too tough. They'll sit there and sit on the role players and let the superstars beat them, or they'll just play one-on-one. And look, I leave your role players open. They ain't going to hit them all. So they had a damn good game plan going into this series after the way they had to fight, like you say, fight through adversity to beat Denver.
Yeah.
So
shoot, they got adversity in the first round with Ja Morant as well. Remember the game they was down by 30?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Ooh.
They was like, all right, man, look, listen, all right, what y'all go do? Y'all down by 30. Y'all go look at this team and say, man, we just get them next game, or y'all want this game? And they went and got that game. Yeah, I think they ended up sweeping the Grizzlies. But they got adversity in the first round, down 30, and they overcame it. They passed that test with flying colors, came back, beat them boys, swept them, got that series over and done with, right? Then they get to the second round, and they got Denver, which is probably the toughest team in the Western Conference other than themselves. It goes 7 games, so they went 7 games. They learned something from it because they could have got it over in maybe 6, maybe. Right, but they dropped the game. They couldn't do it. Right, and then now they learn how important it is to get this thing over with. So they came out with this home game ready to close it out. And I'm starting to think I mean, because a lot of people used to say this about Jordan and the Bulls because it used to happen so much. When they'll drop a game in the finals and it'll set up just perfect for them to close it out at home. Right? You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? And it almost looked like that because what game that they didn't just convincingly win other than the one they lost in game 3? Like, oh man, we don't want our first 2 games in OKC. If we win the next 2 and sweep them, we doing it in Minnesota. All right, we'll give y'all one and then split and take one so we can close it out in game 5 at home. You know what I mean? I'm not saying they actually did that, but it worked. It worked out like that. I'm not saying they purposely did that, but subconsciously, you know what I mean? They didn't turn it on in game 3, but they turned it on in game 4. I think that's kind of odd.
You know what I was thinking too, though, and this is my last part because I know you probably have another call, but I like how they finished this series to get themselves a rest because they like you said, the adversity games, going 7 games, they took a toll, bro. So they needed that rest. It was a much needed rest, and they smelled blood in the water, and they attacked and they finished. They closed the deal. 4-1 salute to the OKC Thunder. Nice up and coming young team. I'm proud of them, bro. I can't say nothing bad about them. So I'm just looking forward to the finals. I want to see them in Indiana, 2 young teams hungry for their first championship. Now you're gonna see what real basketball about because both of these championships is hungry. I mean, both of these teams are hungry. So I'm expecting Indiana to do that. They're a great running team. They give up big leads. They're supposed to be a good road team, but I don't think Indiana have enough firepower because Heidelberg don't show up like an SGA. They got the defense, the compatible and the style of play, but I just think OKC just prime this year. Bro.
I mean, Indiana can surprise some people. I will say that. So I'm not gonna count them out. 2 games. I gotta do some more thinking on who I think go win this series because if they plan on both playing on their A game, I would give OKC the edge. But I really think, I mean, you gotta think about it, man. Indiana and New York, they beat some top teams. They beat the Boston Celtics, who's the defending champs, handled them very well and kind of made it look easy at times. And then Indiana beat the Cavs. Like those were the top teams in the East. They both washed them, right? So I mean, they made both of them look bad, yo. So I hope SGA and the Thunder don't come in lollygagging. I don't think they will because, like I said, they've been tested at every level in the Western Conference Finals, and that was the toughest conference. So we'll see, man. It could go real good for them, but it could be really tough. We'll see.
One more point. I can't wait till you break down this like you did with the Western Conference. Keys to victory. I'm looking forward to that. You do a good job. Salute to Sports T, Jay, Chris, all y'all. And say, bro, we're on the rise, bro. And the real is back, bro. So keep pushing, keep dropping that knowledge because you have a lot of trolls that'll come on your channel and try to question your basketball IQ, but I love the way you handle it. Yeah. It's don't be too much arguing, it don't be that cussing each other out, pull up and all that. It's just real barbershop talk like we came up on. So, like I said, I want to commend you. Y'all hit that like button for Big Mel, because guess what? This channel is growing and it's growing rapidly. So keep supporting the real, and it's time to come back stronger than ever, man. Salute to you and your channel, man.
No doubt, man. Appreciate you, James.
And I like that studio. I'm gonna give me a flight when I come that week because I'm about to start traveling.
When you come to Cali, man, you already got the invite, big dog.
All right, because I stood in Oakland for 4 years, 05 to 09. So I'm gonna come back out that way and I'm gonna hit you up, bro.
Yeah, come on. Hey, like I said, man, if you go be here, you got the invite, big dog.
All right, thank you, man.
All right, no doubt. All right, let's get another call, y'all. Oh, Hope Peace, man. $20 super chat. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate that super chat. What should I put the world's smallest violin? What should I put this at? Let me see if I can get see if y'all can see that thing real good right there. Man, this thing play good music too, y'all. This is for all the people crying about SGA and going to the free throw line. You know, I can go ahead. You know what? I can put this on like a necklace. So every time somebody start crying, I can just pull it out and just play it. You know what I mean? So yeah, just let me know. I got a couple of these for y'all, man. If y'all want it on the necklace, I can give it to y'all. Easy day. But let me put that phone line back up there. Let's get a phone call in here. Let's get another phone call, man. I want to hear from y'all, man. Hey, they just closed out a good team in Minnesota, man. Sent home a really good player, Anthony Edwards. Made it look easy, gentleman sweep. And man, that's a lot to be discussed. Caller from New York. Who's this, Sabrina?
Yeah, hey man, you got jokes.
It was good.
I need one of those little violins.
You need one?
Need one of those. Need one for LeBron.
You want one on the necklace?
Yeah, we need one for LeBron because he actually needs new accessories for his new doll, the crybaby. He needs diapers, diaper wipes.
You know what?
Diaper wipes.
I should have went and got one of them dolls, man.
No, he needs accessories. They need to name a couple of the dolls. We got the crybaby doll.
Yeah.
Accessories meaning he gonna need diaper bag, diapers, and baby wipes.
Hey, so look, I got a theory, and y'all I want y'all to remember why I said this. When there's a team that seems like they're outmatching the team they're facing in the finals, they usually help that underdog team get that game one win. Y'all remember when Iverson played the outmatched Shaq and Kobe Lakers?
Yeah. You're right.
And Iverson came out and had the game with his the Lakers was Lakers was undefeated up until that time. They didn't lose not one game. And imagine sweeping everybody all the way to the finals, then lose one game, right? And they get out there.
That ain't good for the Ravens.
And everybody just figured out, man. Oh man, nobody can beat the Lakers. And here come little Mighty Mouse Allen Iverson come out. Phenomenal game. It drew so much attention. They won. And then next thing you know, the Lakers was like, all right, 4 straight games, right? But that first game drew so much attention to it that we had to watch because, man, how the heck did Iverson beat Shaq and Kobe? And there was, Iverson was
see if he could win another one.
He was performing phenomenally, and we wanted to watch and see if it was going to be an upset. And I also remember when Boston played the Warriors, and they won that game 1. Right, so don't be shocked if OKC come and we'll see if it happens or not. I mean, like I said, the way OKC has been handling adversity so far and learning from, they've been learning quickly. Usually when adversity hit young teams like this, it takes them out, and then they'll be back next year, and they might pass the test next year if they face it like that. But they've been turning around and learning these lessons on the fly and fixing everything and flying the plane while they build it at the same time, which is impressive, right? So I don't think that they'll go to sleep at the wheel and lose game 1, but don't be surprised or shocked if Indiana comes out and get game 1 to draw everyone's attention to the and be like, okay, this might be a series. You get what I'm saying?
Don't let Dominque hear you say that. She's expecting the Knicks to at least win one more, but that ain't gonna happen.
They might. If they do, that means OKC go get a lot of rest.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But go ahead. What's your thoughts?
Oh no, SG. They need to give him his props. It's enough of this. Out with the old, in with the new. They should have. The NBA, the league should have dethroned LeBron years ago, at least 10 years ago, especially with his lack of integrity. If they gave a damn about the league, but of course it's about money with them. So they should dethrone him, like I said last night. They should get rid of him and put somebody else as the face of the league. You don't need to wait till he retired because he's done nothing for the league. He's damaged the league to the point where he gave them player empowerment, and look what the players are doing. The superstars are doing. They low managing because they watched him do it. They don't have no loyalty to a team. They want out. well, you explained why KD. I didn't realize that's what happened with. That's why I love your show. You're informative.
Yeah.
You know, you teach something that we didn't really know. I thought KD just cut and ran from the Nets after they gave him his new contract, and then he was able to bounce. But I didn't know the whole story, the backstory. So you kind of enlightened me on that subject.
Yeah.
But this situation with these superstars, how they bouncing from team to team with no loyalty, they should stop guaranteeing a contract. You got to have some type of situation where you got an MRI, so you need to sit out a game, sit out a number of games. These fans are getting cheated. They're spending an astronomical money for tickets. We talking about working class people, not the rich people.
Right.
You know, and then they go and see a superstar that's sitting on a damn bench while they spent their hard-earned money.
Yeah.
The franchise player. I
Yeah.
mean, come on. LeBron started this nonsense. He's done nothing to improve the league. He has done nothing to improve any player on his team throughout his career. He's all about him. Narcissists don't care about nobody.
Mm. Well, so I mean, we'll probably have some discussions about that a little bit more in detail on one of the shows that we do that's not a post game. I just want to hear what you thought about the series with OKC, and then
I actually thought Minnesota was going to win.
You did,
and so yeah, I did.
When did you change your mind?
I can tell the truth. No, I could tell the truth. I thought that they were going to win in 6.
And when did you know they wasn't going to win?
After game 3, I knew that SGA and them had what it took.
Yeah.
You know,
it's been
Edwards
impressive.
Need to take Edwards if he doesn't change the way he plays. He's going to be a nobody. He's going to be aware of in the background as his career goes if he doesn't change his game with this 3-point shooting. And athleticism is not the best thing. A lot of people saying that SGA is boring. Never mind that he's a winner. That's what counts.
Right.
Not the athleticism. Maybe he has it, but he doesn't want to use. He got sense enough not to use it because it ain't easy to be doing all that high flying, especially with his body frame. He's thin.
Yeah.
You know, Kobe wore out his body with all that extra.
He got to advance. He got to pick up some more stuff with his game, and he got to start doing the advanced things. Like I always explain to people, the first thing you learn when you become a basketball player and you become good, especially if you got like a head start with your age group, if you're faster than them and you learn how to dribble before they do, it's going to be easy for you to blow by them and get layups. You know what I mean? You might have a decent crossover as a 5th grader, or you might just be fast and can dribble. You're going to get layups. Yep. That's the first thing you learn: dribble, drive, layup. Then the next thing you go learn is, can you dribble, drive to the left side and finish with the left? Then the next thing
you have to be able to do both hands.
Then the next thing you're going to learn is, if they are afraid of your dribble drive. Because the first thing, if you're driving by them at a young age, the coach is going to tell them to guard you to your offhand. Once you develop your offhand, they're going to say back off of him and give him space to see if he can shoot.
And then you can pull up.
Right, and if you can shoot a wide open 3 or a jump shot because they backed off of you, that's the elementary part of the game. That's the first thing. That's the basics. Now the advanced stuff that you learn is, do you have a mid range? Can you stop on a dime and pull up? Right. Yep. And have your body lined up the way it's supposed to be, and be, you know what I'm saying, and shoot the same exact shot time and time again. Do you have that? Do you have a post game? If you get a mouse in the house, can you exploit that? Can you do things without the ball? Can you run off screens and catch and shoot? Can you set screen? Like, all of those things are the advanced things. Like setting a screen actually helps out. You get open sometimes. You're not always getting the other person open. Sometimes setting the screen helps you out. It's a lot of things you got to do off the ball, in the mid-range, in the post, when you can't just dribble drive. So when I see elite players in the NBA that get all of their buckets off dribble drive, or just somebody backing off of you and you pulling a 3, That's an elementary game. That's element. You don't have anything advanced in your bag, and SGA is killing people with mostly advanced stuff. The mid range. That's advanced. But I thank you for the call, man. I'm gonna get 2 more in here, then I'm gonna end the stream. Thank you.
All right. Have a good night.
Okay.
I'm gonna watch the rest of the show.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, bye.
That was a call from Maryland that tried to come in. You can call back, and there was another call as well. I'll put the number back on the screen. Yeah, but Anthony Edwards have to get back in the lab, and he's got to add the advanced parts of his game into his bag. Right. Caller from Little Rock, Arkansas. Banging in Little Rock. What's popping?
What's going on, Mel?
It was good, man. What's your thoughts?
Man, I think that was a good series. It ended the way I expected it to end. I did hope to see a little bit more from Ant-Man, but he ain't quite there yet mentally.
Yeah. 23 years old. That's young.
It's young.
Yeah,
It's
like
young.
a conventional player, this would be his senior year in college, ready to get into the draft.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
He's got the physical skills.
Well, no, I'm lying. If you go to college at 18, you graduating at 22. Okay, my bad. Yeah, so this is like rookie. This is like rookie year.
Anyway.
Yeah. This supposed to be a rookie. You know what I mean? It's like this was Tim Duncan as a rookie right here. So you gotta give him kudos for being 23 and being this good and getting to the conference finals 2 years in a row. He's emerging. He's emerging.
He is, and the thing is, I want to give these modern day players they do give them their props. I'm not sleeping on that man. I just think he was coronated too early. You listen to Stephen A. Smith and all these guys. They want to make him the next Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan point two. Michael Jordan point two, not 2.0. Point two. Michael Jordan point two. Yeah.
Right, because he ain't got a full one yet.
Yeah, no.
The thing is, I think he's got some flashes of MJ's game because of his athleticism, and it's exciting to see. I like the fact that he's tenacious and he seems to not shy away from the moment. I just don't think he recognizes how to take over a game yet. And again, it's all youth. It's all growing pains. I got to give a young brother props. I just wish he would have showed up a little bit more, been a little bit more selfish, took a few more shots. And he's got to learn he needs somebody to talk to him and teach him how to work a mic and how to do an interview. Because when they lost, was that game 3 when they lost? And he came out and said, I didn't struggle. I just didn't get enough shots up. I'm like, dude, that's the very definition of struggling, my brother.
Bro, crazy.
Think about what you're saying.
Yeah, and he said he made the right play every time.
Right, and that reminded me so much of LeBron James. I'm like, you can see that's the one thing, and I don't want to talk about him too much because we're talking about the Thunder and the Timberwolves, but that's the one thing LeBron has left on the league today, and that is excuses, lack of awareness, and then on the court he left a bunch of flopping. So, and this is going to upset some LeBron fans, but you can't be a GOAT if you don't leave the game better than you found it. If you're not so dominant that they have to change the rules to contain you, or you're not so dominant that other people try to emulate your play, then you haven't done anything to advance the game. You're not a GOAT.
I mean, he definitely got some copycats though. Luka is copying his play.
Yeah. Luka flops all over the place too.
Well, not the flopping. I'm just talking about not being a point guard, but playing point guard for your team, being ball dominant.
Play.
Yeah. High screen and roll, get downhill or shoot a step back three. Like that's the LeBron game. Luka do it a little bit different. Yeah, Harden did it a little bit different. Westbrook did it a little bit different, but it's basically the same LeBron thing.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
And what's confusing these new fans, these novices, is the fact that they think that individual scoring and triple doubles and double doubles is what makes you a great player. They forget you play the game to win. Let's take it back to basics. You play to win. It's great to get a triple double, a double double, and all this other stuff. It's great to get 50 points, but if it's in the service of winning, it's great. if you're doing all that and your team lose and you watching the playoffs and B does with everybody else, then what's the point in all of that?
Yeah. I'm with you on that.
But I really love the way OKC play, man. That defense, I'm excited to see them in the Pacers. I think Halliburton's been slept on. I think he's another up-and-coming star. Again, I can't make these guys superstars yet, but I do think they got bright futures. And I think what the league needs to do with this generation of players, they don't need to appoint anyone the chosen one like they did LeBron. He's the chosen one. The league handpicked him. So when they handpicked him, they kind of sealed their fate. They weren't going to go back on their pick because that would make them look stupid. So by hook or crook, they had to make sure he succeeded in some fashion.
Correct.
What the league needs to do is to fall back, let the talent speak for itself, let the personality speak for themselves, and let the people choose who they like and who they want to champion. It'll just naturally fall into place. It might be one guy. It might be by committee. It might be several guys. Kind of like when Bird and Magic, you had East Coast, West Coast, but you had two guys that carried the league. It wasn't just one guy doing that era.
Right.
Bird took it for a couple of years, a few years, then Magic took it for a few years. We might be looking at that now with SJ and Ant-Man and Halliburton based on how they turn out. And maybe with Luka still in the mix and with Jokic,
Right.
We just gotta let the talent speak for itself, and let's not forget about winning. I think we can also get back to focusing on winning and not focusing so much on individual stats. Winning
defense and scoring. There was a once upon a time where the scorers were the superstars, with the exception of Magic Johnson being a passer who was a superstar. But he was a passer by choice. Magic Johnson can give you 30 or 40 anytime he wanted to as well, right? So the scorers are the superstars. The passers were usually your point guards like Stockton, Mark Jackson, Rod Strickland, Avery Johnson. They were not the superstars. You have to be able to score buckets relentlessly to be a superstar. So we're going to champion scoring. We're going to champion defending, and we're going to champion winning. Those are the top three things that get you to superstardom. Now, all of this assist stuff and the rebounds, that's role player stuff. Rodman rebounded.
Yeah.
Role player. Charles Oakley rebounded. Role player. Like, there was some superstars that rebounded. Of course, the big man, Shaq and Charles Barkley and all that stuff. But if all you do is rebound, that doesn't make you a superstar. If all you do is pass, that doesn't make you a superstar. Scoring does, right? With the exceptions of those guys like Magic, and somebody said J Kidd, and J Kidd. I say J Kidd as well.
And J Kidd and Magic had a reason to be assistants. They were point guards, true point guards.
Correct.
So they were looking to get other people open and create for other people. They weren't necessarily looking to score first. They were a pass first, score second type player.
Yeah.
But like you said, on any given night, if they're called up on to do it, they can give you 25, 30 points easy.
It's time to get rid of this triple-double stuff that came in with Westbrook. Westbrook started something, and people was like, oh, man. Like, ever since Westbrook got an MVP with the triple-double, everybody is like, maybe I should play like that and play triple-double basketball. And the league hasn't recovered and got wise yet. Even I can't believe the media really thinks the triple-double is that fascinating. I want to listen. The WNBA, the first MVP ladder came out after the first 4 games. Nafessa Collier plays for the Minnesota Lynx. She's averaging 28, almost 30 points a game. Just to compare that to something, people winning MVPs by averaging 22 and 23 points. Like 22 and 23 is a lot in the WNBA. Nafessa Collier is averaging 30. And her team is 4-0, and she's one of the top defenders blocks as well, right? So she defends. She's leading her team. She's leading the league in scoring with 30, and they're 4-0. She ain't even the top person on the MVP ladder. It was Caitlyn Clark, who averages 16 points and like 6 rebounds and like 6 assists, but that's close to a triple-double, and they're 2-2. They done lost 2 games. They playing 500 basketball.
500 team.
And she was the leader for the MVP on the first ladder that came out, all because she's almost averaging a triple-double.
Yep. And I'll give her one other thing that's in her favor too. She was popular coming out of college, and she had a following, and she's the great white hope in women's basketball.
Bro, she was in the MVP race last year, and people was arguing that she should get it because of her popularity. And her team was below 500 before they went on a run toward the end to make the playoffs. That was playing horrible basketball. I was like, how y'all got her in the MVP race?
Yeah, I feel like if your team is not in contention,
you can't be in a contention for anything. Race. Yeah, you can't be in a winning has to trump everything. And then the last thing I say before I let you go, Paige Bucher is playing for well, first of all, Caitlyn Clark in her first 3 games had 21 turnovers. That's the average of 7 turnovers a game. She had 21 turnovers in the first game and 17 assists.
But they won't talk about that.
They won't talk about that. Paige Bucher has 20 assists in her first 3 games and only 7 turnovers. And now she's figuring it out. And guess what's the difference between her and how she came in the league? She came in the league respectful. She didn't, and it's not Caitlyn Clark's fault. It was her fan base that was saying she's the savior for the league. She's already the best player in the league. That you're gonna make people want to challenge her. This okay? Well, you got to show me. That's where the challenge came from. Not because they were jealous, because people kept saying that she was already the best and they didn't even play the game yet. So okay, I'm gonna show y'all. But nobody did that to Paige because nobody overhyped Paige. So Paige was able to come in and she started gaining respect. If you hear her mic'd up how she talked to the vets, man, they love her. And it's genuine. It's genuine. It's not I'm gonna show her love so her fans won't tell me that I'm jealous of her and I want to hear my name on ESPN tomorrow saying I'm jealous. So I'm showing her love. They actually literally love Paige. Even the referee. Just listen to her mic'd up. This girl, Paige is it. She is it, dog. Paige is better than Diana Taurasi. Paige is it. I'm telling you, man. Watch that girl for the Dallas Wings. Paige is it, man. Anytime I get a chance to watch Paige, I'm watching her, and she's got that range that she can. Her next game. She can pull. Look, she can pull logo threes just like Caitlyn, but Gino didn't coach them like that at Connecticut. Gino wouldn't let nobody take no logo 3. But she got that range. But bruh, she got the mid range. She got everything SGA got. She's not jacking 3s up though. So
I'm gonna watch this young lady play. I'm
man, bro,
but she got that one thing, that one word, and that's called substance.
Yeah, look, Paige
got substance. Everything else falls into place.
Correct. The last time Paige and Caitlyn Clark played a full season at the same time in college, Paige was the one who won Player of the Year, and then went on to get an ESPY for Female Athlete of the Year. And then she gave a speech at the ESPYs and gave all Black women athletes their flowers and said, I get a lot of attention, but I know I get a lot of attention because, I have a certain privilege. And she was like, I just want to take this time while I get this award to shout out all the Black females that paved the way for me. And ever since she said that, they stopped promoting her. And then the next year she tore her ACL, and then that's when Caitlyn got the Player of the Year. And then when she came back, Caitlyn's senior season, that's when Caitlyn took off after the Angel Reese "You Can't See Me" thing, and nobody was going to take the spotlight from Caitlyn at that moment. But this year she won the championship, won the national championship. She's a year removed from the ACL surgery. She's 100% healthy, and she's back, dog. She's 10 times better than Caitlyn, I promise you.
And time will tell. At the end of the day, regardless of what hype you get off the court, you got to show and prove on the court. And as people start watching the game and they see these other people come at you and giving you the business, they're gonna be like, "Well, I thought you was the best, but look like this other young lady, this other person over here is willing and dealing on the court, and you just kind of struggling."
Man, I'm telling you, please, listen.
People will see.
After the finals this year with the NBA, please tune into the WNBA. I'm telling you, Paige is like that. It's another freshman, not a freshman. It's another rookie. That's a big girl. I think she's number 44. And I can't say her name properly, so I'm not gonna butcher it. I find it out once I start covering WNBA and stuff. I have all the names down packed, but this girl's so good, dog. Oh my God. and tough. And look, and rookies are out there throwing people to the ground, fighting. Like it's real out there, and it's not, man. I'm telling you, though. Oh my God, WNBA is like that, though. Yep, that's her. That's her. Kiki. I still can't say the name though. Kiki Arifin. Oh my God, this girl can play, man. She's a big girl. With she's not like a big girl like Leah Boston or nothing like that, but she's not skinny. She's like Maya Moore, with that body type. Yeah. So she's like a 6'2", 6'3". So she plays down low, but she got guard skills. Man, and then she mean. Like she don't take no crap. Too. Oh my God, man.
You can't knock off the block.
Bruh. She's so good, man. I'm telling you. Kiki Arifin. Oh my God.
I haven't caught too many games so far. I mean, the season just started for the women. I haven't had a chance to catch any of the games yet because of my work schedule. But I'm looking forward to it. Matter of fact, a friend of mine going to Vegas tomorrow. He's gonna try to catch the catch Aja play while he's down there this weekend. But I'm looking forward to the season, man. The women, they do play hard, and what I like about the women is you feel the tension, you feel the passion to win. You get a true sense of competition, defense versus offense. It's not all offense and no defense. The playoffs have been great this year, but you go back to the regular season of this year in the NBA, it's just a shooting. It's just a light scrimmage game and a game of horse. Shooting from the three and from the logo. But right now in the playoffs, though, it's changed. They let them play defense. Those who are willing to play defense are stepping up. That's why I say I love what OKC has done, man. I like watching them get turnovers and steals and blocks, Chet blocking people, and they locking people down, man. It's just crazy. And then when they get it, they fast break and they going inside. They're not settling for the three. They're not running to the 3-point line and jumping and yoking one up. They're going all the way in. Sometimes making a second or third pass. It's just beautiful basketball compared to what we've been watching in the regular season. And I had picked OKC and Boston to be in the finals, but when Boston got knocked out, I'm still going to go with OKC. I've had OKC winning it. I still got OKC winning it, but I am interested to see how they're going to match up against Indiana.
Yeah, that's a head scratcher for me. And I'm with you. I wanted to see that Boston OKC matchup, man. I thought that would have been phenomenal finals basketball. And I knew that was going game 7. I'm not so sure with this Indiana. Indiana's a wild card though, and with a wild card, man,
Indiana's gonna close out tomorrow.
You listen. You got for OKC. You might come in being the Vegas favorites, but you have to have the appropriate level of fear for Indiana. I'm not saying fear them like be shaking in your boots, but the appropriate level of fear enough to take them serious. Like you have to be scared of something they can do, and understand that they can get a win, just as well as any other team can get a win against you. So they can't go in there buying their own hype and smelling their britches. They can't do it. They can't.
Yeah, they can't. And if I'm the coach, I'm looking at film right now and game planning. Me and the assistant coaches, we looking at film, we game planning, we seeing what we need to stop, where they're weak, and where we can exploit them in mismatches. I'm already in the film room right now.
Yeah, facts. That's what I'll be doing. In the film room watching Indiana. Oh man. All right, man. I appreciate the call though, man. I'm gonna take one more and I'm gonna end.
All right, appreciate you.
All right, thanks. All right, let's get one more call, y'all. One more call. Pacers. He said Pacers got a squad of chess pieces. Yeah, man. Chess pieces and wild cards, man. But you cannot sleep on them boys, or you gonna end up like the Miami Heat Big Three when Dirk came out there. And now they don't have a Dirk level player, but they got Dirk's coach that was able to coach them to that type of upset. Carlisle is a great coach. Carlisle is a great coach, man. He's gonna have it like OKC's coach is not just gonna easily out coach Carlisle like he out coach Minnesota's coach Finch, and like he out coaches this new interim coach in Denver, right? Bringing Caruso out there and mixing things up with Jokic. That coach Adamon had no answer for, right? No answer for. So this OKC coach is less experienced than Rick Carlisle. Rick Carlisle gonna have some stuff for him. Trust me, he's gonna have some stuff for him, right? He might be able to outcoach Thibodeau if New York advance. He might be able to outcoach him because Thibodeau go outcoach himself by shortening his bench rotation. Now you see him all of a sudden trying to daggone play his bench, man. Precious Achiuwa got in the game for the first time in the playoffs. And you know, he went a little bit deeper, but he still didn't trust him enough because they would only get like 2 to 3, 4 minutes, maybe. You know what I mean? Caller from Texas, what's up?
What's up, brother, man?
What's
How
good?
you doing this evening?
What's good? I'm good, man. How you doing?
Nah, I'm making it. Hey, shout out to the chat. Everybody's doing pretty good. First off, I'm just so happy to that game I watched today. I was happy. I caught myself smiling at some good basketball. I'll even go this far. I saw some great basketball being played.
Yeah.
By OKC today. It all came together today.
Yeah.
You know, and Chet, I was real critical of him because he was playing kind of weak in the paint, especially on defense and rebounding on the first 3 games. But really, game 4, to me he was the catalyst that sprung him. When he decided in the first quarter of game 4, I'm taking it to the hole every time. If you go back and look at that first quarter, Chet was taking that ball to the hole every time. And I was like, that's how you do it. That's how you do it right there. Looking like Mike Lowry. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. Because when I'm being honest, I watched it. And then again, Shay's gonna do his numbers, he's gonna do what he needs to do. But their defense, they were playing like rabid dogs. And I was just loving it. And that's the problem I think everybody else is really going to have a problem doing because that's their game. Their game is to play defense, generate offense, and they can spread the floor when they need to, but they move. Mm-hmm. It's not the best motion offense I've seen, but they move, right? That game 3, I was really kind of like, man, because it looked like they were doing the same thing they did against Denver. And I'm like, why are you having these lapses? Again, we talked about it before. With Denver, you're playing with your food. You shouldn't be. That one to come back and bite you. They got through it. Game 7, fine. This time they locked in. But Ann Edwards, again, I told you last year they were proclaiming him something he wasn't way too soon because his offensive game, because he decided he wanted to go for them threes. I was watching him. He wasn't able to get past his man. No. Just by himself. He was on the perimeter. He was not able to get past his man. Now, I think some of it had to do with some injuries. I think he got some lower body injury. I think when he had like a knee or something got a little jammed up. His ankle. In this playoff, and then his ankle. Yeah, twice. Yeah, I think that's affecting him. But I think that goes back to kind of what you were saying before. He focused too much on the 3 ball and falling in love with that and not working on the game that got him where he's at. Yeah. Like his real game, the thing was his advantage. He's trying to do something else because he thought it was nice and shiny. And so for me, I was happy about this game. And I'm with you on that also. Indiana that's a puzzle because it is. Indiana, they surprised. Like I don't normally get surprised about a lot of stuff, but I really didn't watch Indiana all that much. But they kind of shocked me, especially with the way they're letting them play defense. I still give OKC the edge because I think they play better defense than everybody else. And again, they're adapted to this, allow them to play style. So I think that's their advantage. But like you said, they better be in the film room right now. That's a fact. Looking like, hey, we need to figure out really what it is because they got a lot of different pieces that like you said, if Halliburton's not all the way there, that's one thing that scares me about Indiana. If he's not, or whatever their main person, they got some other ones that can just show up and they show up just kind of like OKC does, like a storm. So, like I said, I think the finals is gonna be pretty good. And I was with you. I thought it was gonna be Oklahoma City and Boston.
Yeah. That's what I wanted. And that's what I wanted. And I thought we was gonna get it too. I thought we was gonna get it. I thought it was gonna be easier for Boston to get there than OKC.
It should have been.
Yeah, it should have been. Yeah.
But they played around. They messed around, and then they stopped. I mean, and Missoula, to me, he let that team down a lot. Like, to me, his coaching, like, I saw lack of making adjustments on his part. Not as bad as Thibodeau, but see, Thibodeau, he's run the rubber off the wheels as far as his players are concerned, which he does all the time anyway. And like you said, just now started checking people in that ain't played in the playoffs. Like, yeah, that's not a bad sign at all.
Yeah.
That a guy that ain't been in the playoffs, you now in the Eastern Conference Final, first time this person's seeing live action. Okay,
that's telling me
what
that
could go wrong.
That's telling me that either his players are telling them they dirt tired, or he's recognizing that they dirt tired, and now he trying to see if he can grab somebody off the bench to do something. But you ain't relied on them all season. Definitely not the playoffs, but you know what I mean. So this is definitely the wrong time to be saying, "Hey, help us out." Definitely
because and they got lucky. They got lucky that they kind of did okay. But the point is, that person isn't tempered. They're not. That still hasn't been tempered yet. So you might get one game out of them, or might get one quarter out of them. But you're gonna be able to come back to that person, think you're gonna get the same result. It's probably not going to happen because they're not up to speed. You know what I'm saying? They're coming into a game and there was T-ball before, but now all of a sudden somebody's throwing a fastball by your head.
Mm-hmm.
Like, whoa, what's going on?
Yeah.
See, that's just not. I mean, I think New York's gonna lose. I think it's gonna be next tomorrow too. I think it's gonna be tomorrow. It's gonna end. I think that one's over tomorrow too because I think I think it's over. I think that one's over. But again, great show, brother. Everyone else, like Nola Boy, man from Arkansas, pretty much said everything I want to say anyway. But I just want to say hey, and to me, this is just I'm excited. I'm excited to see.
Yeah, man.
Basketball
This
that's my thing.
This is what I'm excited about. Basketball at its purest form.
One out,
right? That's what I'm excited. Like last year when Boston won it, they won it on defense and playing great offense. Not too many threes. They utilized the post with Porzingis. Like Porzingis was a monster in the mid post, right at the free throw line. And in the low post sometime they utilize everything, but that defense, I mean, that made me smile. It was like, okay, man, they not bailing out Luka for playing bad basketball. They're letting these guys defend him, and they're showing you defense wins championships. So I was happy about last year, and this year I'm happy that OKC playing similar defense, and if not better, and then offense that's not relying on threes. They don't use the post that often, but they're all going to the hole. They're all attacking the basket, and their threes come off of them attacking the basket. That's how old school basketball is. And then their best player is dominating the mid range. He's going in the post sometime as well, right? So I mean, all the elements of basketball that's supposed to be played is being played, and it's not just a 3-point shooting contest.
Because SGA is asking questions of the defense every time he touches the ball.
Yeah,
and like you said, if you don't have a bag, you can only ask a couple questions, right? You're either going to drive or you're going to hit a three. You're going to try to bull your way in. But if you got moved to the basket, if you got the ability to make a pass, get away from the ball, still move, and then get the ball back and then still go in because you made like you said, you've made the zone adjust. Mm-hmm. Again, basket. This is basket. This is what we call us old heads or whatever. But that's basketball that you were supposed to be taught at a younger age. You do not do the things that some of these players do against certain defense. Like there's certain things like when you saw as a point guard, I wasn't a point guard. I'm assuming you were. But when you saw certain defenses, that's why you saw a point guard putting up a different number. You're making adjustments.
Mm-hmm.
You're letting your teammates know, okay, they're doing this, we're doing this. And then you make adjustments off of that. But then you got players that when you do that are still able to play defense. And again, I agree with you exactly when the comparison between them and Boston. The thing I think the advantage they have is they're younger, they're fresher, they're faster. And so when they trap, it's for real. I mean, it was a couple of them today that reminded me of the '96 Bulls. I was like, good Lord.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm talking about? When they got Ed up there on the right side, I was like, man, is that Harp? Like what?
They was all over the place. They were swarming.
They were
swarming. Yeah.
Like it's like a storm. They were swarming. I'm like, see, that's what I'm talking about. And that's what I'm like to me, hopefully somebody said in the chat, this is Joe Dumars influences on the NBA. And good Lord, I hope that's what it is.
Well, that's what he said. He said it was. He said that this was his parting gift from the front office. When he went and took that New Orleans job, he said, "This is my parting gift to Adam Silver in the NBA. You're welcome."
Yeah. Because this is what it's supposed. This is what we've been trying to tell them. This is what you're supposed to be looking at this whole time you were growing up. This is what you were supposed to be seeing, not this AAU. And I think old boy from Little Rock said it. You know, a shoot around with a game of horse. That's not what this is supposed to be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you saw they knew how to. I mean, they were making adjustments. So again, I'm just happy to see some great basketball being played and defense being placed on center stage, and it won out against people who want to play the 3-ball or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, and I think somebody else said in the chat too. I'm really happy not to see the Lakers or Golden State. I'm real happy. I'm so happy they're on vacation.
Yeah.
I want this. I want this. So, you know what I'm saying? I want them so far behind in the rear view. Like it's time. Like if we got some young guys that are willing to go out there and do that, boom. And one more thing, bro, you're absolutely correct about Paige and the other ones. And you see the narrative where you got the one who got the same number of assists as the other one has the same number of turnovers, but you got this one in the MVP
insane
ballot.
Insane. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. The WNBA miscalculated. This is the last thing I say before you go, but the WNBA miscalculated that, and they got an issue right now. Their most popular player, who they think is supposed to, their most popular player who's bringing the rating sky high, can't perform well enough on her own to actually warrant the attention she's getting. And
so, like you say,
and her fans
now that
right.
Go ahead.
And her fans are trying, like every time her fans see her perform bad or see someone lock her up on defense, they blame jealousy on the players and they blame the WNBA for trying to sabotage her. But what it really is, they don't know what they're talking about. They don't know how they evaluate basketball players, and they think that popularity is actually basketball play. And you got tons of girls.
They made everybody forget about They made them forget about Paige when she got injured. That's quite frank. That's the only reason that Caitlyn Clark became Caitlyn Clark. If you go back and look at when it was her junior and senior year.
Well, no, those deep threes she was hitting. I mean, she was
hitting the three, but Paige was still ruling the roost.
Caitlyn was going to get popular whether Paige was injured or not. Maybe she wouldn't have got player of the year. Maybe she wouldn't have got considered as the best player in the college.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm not saying she's not good.
No, but her popularity was rising because those threes was getting on SportsCenter every single time she was doing them, and people was finding out her name now. The racist people that don't know basketball, they didn't start paying attention to. They heard that there was a white girl that was beating all these major teams that got stacked squads. full of black girls. And that's when the racists jumped on, but they was quiet, right? But then when Angel Reese beat her in the championship and did this tour, that's when all the MAGA fans that don't like basketball, they jumped on, was like, oh, we gotta defend. I mean, and this is the thing about if a crowd of black people want to support someone versus when white people want to do it, or white supremacy, is, black people, their stuff, it only goes so high. White supremacy can go to the White House, because I remember when she got beat in the championship, President Biden's wife came out and said, I think we should invite the Iowa girls to the White House. This would be the first time we invited the losers. Because they seen them crying in the press conference. And when your heart when there's a string attached to your heart for someone that reminds you of yourself or looks like you, like, it's easy for you to be tenderhearted toward people that look like you or remind you of yourself if you can't hold your bias in check. And they were so tenderhearted and hurt that she got beat and was crying that they decided, let's just undermine the champions and invite Iowa as well.
Right? I got one word for that one, Mel. Got one word for that. Church.
Absolute. Tabernacle. Absolutely. But church. And that's the difference. White supremacy can reach the White House. Whatever you want to call the opposite of white supremacy with any other race does not go that high. It does not go CIA. It does not go White House. It don't go that high. Right. It don't go even in sports, it don't go ownership level, because everything at the ownership level is non-black. Right. So that's the difference. But again, that's cool.
I was waiting. I couldn't wait till you got on today, because I'm seriously, that was a beautiful game to watch. Like, I was like, thank you, Lord. Thank you. Yeah. We got some basketball being played, and it came out on top. So again, hopefully this is going to continue. And thank you, Joe Dumars, and those who decide to listen. But everybody else is playing catch up. I think that's their biggest problem. Yeah. OKC got a young squad.
Yeah.
And like you and also when they had an interview from Game 4, you saw the camaraderie when they were getting interviewed right there on the court.
Facts.
J. Will, SGA, and Chet were right there. And like you said, I think it was Noah said it. Ant-Man really needs to get, or no, maybe the brother from Little Rock, but he needs to get somebody to like show him, bro, this is how you need to be able to conduct yourself this way.
Yeah,
right.
I agree.
If you got to be able to talk, because see, I think that's part of his problem. A big part of his problem is he talks too much like LeBron, when he needs to look back and look at some people like when no boy asked Kobe, why aren't you happy? Have we won?
Right.
Is it over?
Right. I think
so.
I think Ant-Man will learn, but that's a good point. Like he got to mature in that area, and SGA is already there, so I think that's a big difference between. But he's 23, man. He got time to learn. But I appreciate the call, though. I'm gonna move on, Jeff.
You got it.
All right, no doubt.
All right, have a good one, brother.
Yep.
All right, bye.
Comment on the screen from Rich Dog. What are y'all thoughts on Angel Reese as a ball player? Offense needs a lot of work, a lot of polishing. She do have she's still a good rebounder. She's averaging 13 rebounds. That's probably number 1 in the league this year, or maybe top 3. So she's averaging 13 rebounds this season. And she's still a good defender, man. She's still amongst the top in steals and blocks. So or just steals. I don't know about blocks, but steals. Her limitations on offense comes from a couple of things. One, she got to clean up her jump shot. And if you watch her play around the rim, I think she's got the same issue my son had coming up, right? So she's ambidextrous, and I really don't. And same thing with Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is ambidextrous. If you ever see him, he throws a lot of right hand hooks, right hand layups. He do a lot of stuff with his right hand around the rim, but he's left handed and he shoot left handed. My son, when we first put him in sports, I think we put him in basketball, and I found out he was left handed. Now I didn't originally know he was left handed because he did everything with his right hand. But when it's time for him to learn how to shoot the basketball, he was shooting left-handed. So I was like, okay, my son's left-handed, right? So he shot left-handed. Then a year later, when we put him in T-ball, I bought him a glove for a left-hander. So we had a glove on his right hand, and he could not throw the ball like 5 yards. And I was like, man, why you can't throw the ball? So, I took him to the field when we practicing, and I'm like, man, why you ain't got no zip on that ball? And we just kept practicing the throwing, and he threw his glove off and switched hands and threw a straight line strike to me with his right hand. And I was like, wait, you shoot left-handed and you throw right-handed? I was like, that is crazy, right? So that's how he's ambidextrous, and, it can kind of mix you up. I think Angel, but if you ever see her down low, she throws a lot of right-handed shots, but she shoots left-handed. I don't know if her left hand is her dominant hand for real, but she shoot left-handed, and it's real fun because she got to clean it up, right? It's getting better. She can hit the jump shot, but it's not consistent yet. So that's her shooting issue. Her issue with missing the layups, if you notice, she doesn't jump on her layups. Even if she's wide open on the fast break, she kind of just leans and scoops it up. And I don't know how she's going to be able to clean it up if she don't jump. But she used to before her car accident, she has a metal rod in her leg, right? Just watch the way she run and jump is real funky. She has a metal rod in her leg, and I don't know if that's forcing her not to be able to jump for some reason. But she got in a car accident, I think, in high school. And before high school, she got videos of her almost dunking, right? Almost dunking a female ball in high school before the car accident. It's a video on YouTube. You can look it up. So I think that car accident and putting that rod in her leg took some of her leaping ability and her athleticism. And I don't think she's really like even me at my age, like, cause I could dunk. I'm only 5'9", 5'10". I could dunk when I was in my prime. So getting up for a layup, I always was high up for my layups. So my whole game was predicated it was predicated with me getting up high to be able to kiss it off the glass. When I got older and my leaping ability wasn't the same, I had to recalibrate how I did my layups, how I can get it off the glass, and muscle memory, because now I'm not getting that high. So now you have to figure out a whole new way of how to find that glass. It didn't take long for me to figure it out, but that's me. I might be a little bit more coordinated than her. But I think she's really got to get in the lab and figure out how she's going to find that box and find that glass without jumping. and then she always, but the fact that she can't jump and out, and score over somebody taller than her or the same height as her without them bothering her shot or blocking it, she tries to use her body to jump into them and then throw it up, but she's not jumping. So she's doing this and throwing it up, but not jumping. It's the weirdest thing in the world. I noticed it. I just don't know how you fix it. Is she ever going to be able to jump? I don't know. Yeah, I hear you saying study Zach Randolph, but Zach Randolph had natural touch. She doesn't have natural touch. Like, she don't have that touch, man. I feel bad for her, man. I was who I be caught up about this. I got to tell the rednecks that ain't that he like. Who was this dude talking about N-word? But yeah, she got a come on, man. Look, everybody can critique a player, and people have critiqued Angel Reese before. And Lisa Leslie came on Angel Reese podcast, and Angel said, "What advice do you have for me for this off season going into the new season?" And she said, "We got to fix that layup. We got to fix your layups." That was critique on her own podcast. People aren't afraid to critique Angel Reese. It's just that when you put people on defense where they got to defend her because you're saying outlandish things, motivated by, I'm not gonna say hate, but motivated by your bias for Caitlyn. Like people that love Caitlyn are still mad that Angel Reese did this and embarrassed her and beat her. So everything Caitlyn does good, those people have to rub it in Angel Reese's face. And then everything that Angel Reese does bad, those same people has to highlight what she does bad. So now naturally that creates the opposition on the other extreme where they feel like they have to go to this extreme to protect her. It's not down the middle critique where it's fair. It's extreme critique and unnecessary critique, right? Like for someone to dislike Angel Reese, I don't understand why they're watching her highlights so much and watching her game so much and talking about her so much. It's a whole 2 years removed from when she did You Can't See Me in the LSU versus Iowa championship. It's 2 years removed from that. The same people that was mad about this is still spewing their, I guess, critique toward Angel Reese, and I don't even understand it. I don't understand it. Like Caitlyn Clark gets hurt and they say she's out for 2 weeks. Basketball fans are like, "Oh man, hope she gets good. All right, let's watch the next game." But Caitlyn Clark fans are saying, "Let's hope the WNBA tanks without Caitlyn." What? So you can say what? See, I told you she's the best thing that happened to the WNBA. What does that prove? Like, what are you winning by that? So what it really is, it's like when you want to punch a group of people, and not physical punching, but when you want to punch down on them, you need a vehicle to help you do it, right? And politics have been that vehicle for years. When you want to punch down on a group of people, whether it's minorities, whether LGBT community, whether women, whether people of color, whether poor people, whatever the minority is you can think of, there's a certain politic talking point where you can use politics to talk bad about those people. So when you want to talk about those minorities, you don't talk about the gays directly. You say Democrats or the right or whatever you say, or on the other end you say the left or Republicans or whatever the case may be. So I want to talk to rich people, but I ain't gonna single them out. We'll call them Republicans. Or I want to talk about white people, so we'll call them Republicans. I want to talk about black people. We'll just call them Democrats. You get what I'm saying? Well, politics is one way to do it, but now sports is also another way to do it. So when you want to punch down on black people, you just talk about Angel Reese. And that's basically what's going down. They needed this Caitlyn Clark thing to give them another vehicle to get all the stuff off the chest that they want to say against certain minorities. And that's all it is. That's exactly what it is. And now you got so many people that feel defensive about it because we know that this isn't about basketball. We know you're doing this to punch down on black people. So you get so many black people coming out of nowhere defending Angel Reese because what they're really defending is who Angel Reese represent to them. Angel Reese represents black people to them, or the black people that they don't like, not the ones that voted for Trump. Not those black people. We like them, right? The black people we don't like is the one that voted for Obama and Biden and that was about to vote for Kamala and vote for Democrats in general and like Angel Reese. You get what I'm saying? So That's all it is, man. People are not dumb to this. People just can't verbally say it where it makes sense. But that's exactly what's going on. So when Dave Portnoy and people from Outkick the coverage, and it's very funny that the same people who push the Caitlyn Clark versus Angel Reese agenda are the same people who had the same type of politics that MAGA have. It's the same people. Outkick, Barstool Sports, Dave Portnoy, these it's the same people. Fox News, Megyn Kelly, the same people. That same divide. Like, you can really go Democrat, Republican, and grab the same. You can go to a Republican Party in New York, in some hotel in Trump Towers, right? It's a party there. Everybody in there go have the same views about Caitlyn Angel Reese. So it's a political divide by using WNBA basketball with Caitlyn and Angel Reese. It's not about Caitlyn and Angel Reese. It's not about neither one of them. It's about political views. And that's all it is. That's all it is. I'll take one more phone call, man, and then we out of here. One more phone call and we out of here. Let me see what these comments say, though. I support any WNBA player with a husband. See what I'm saying? The minority group, LGBT, they got this liner. They say, oh man, they hate Caitlyn Clark because she's a straight white girl, a straight Christian white girl. Right? So it's the same thing. White is not black. Straight is not gay. I guess Christian is not liberal. It's politics. It's politics. Why when watching basketball you thinking about what somebody's doing with their thigh meat when they open it up? I'm watching basketball and you see a player that can score really well, and you're concerned about who she's sleeping with. Imagine that. Imagine rooting for a particular sport based on sexual orientation. I like whoever has a husband. That is hilarious. That's hilarious. I can't believe you said that out loud. That's a joke, right? That's got to be a joke. It's got to be a joke. He said Obama deported the most people in USA history. Hey, I ain't got nothing to do with that. What do you do with the NBA? Because that's what we talk about here: basketball, football. You know what I mean? I'm just explaining to you how people are playing y'all, and maybe they're not playing y'all. Maybe y'all know what was really going down, and y'all down with the program too. You know, but like Michael Meltz said, when someone comes with the shenanigans, you're either trying to dupe me or you're a dupe yourself. Either way, I'm not dealing with it. Right? So either you're duped or you're trying to dupe me. Either way, I'm not going. Caller, was that Rhode Island I saw? Caller from Rhode Island.
Yeah, that's cool. Hey, what's up, man? This is Blood Coyote. And I just wanted to comment on the game today and the differences between SGA and Ant-Man. I seen a couple of stats that really popped out to me. SGA has more dunks than Ant does in the playoffs. SGA had 10 dunks made, and Ant only had 9 dunks made.
Mm.
And the layups, SGA had only 42 made from Ant-Man's 53 made.
Mm-hmm.
But SGA had 12 fadeaways made compared to 1 fadeaway made by Ant. And the mid range is, crazy different. SGA had 45 fadeaways made and from the mid range, and mid range for him was only 9 made. It just shows the differences between the mentalities of games that they have. Like SGA is more of a rounded player compared to Ant, and also just after the post game, SGA, you could see in his face, he was like, it's not done. I got more work to do. And it just was really refreshing. He had that Mamba spirit. And when you told, it was a couple of days ago, you said his Ant game was like Michael Finley's.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people don't know about Michael Finley.
Bad boy.
The younger generation. I suggest go look at some of his highlights, because I went to go back and look some of his highlights. He was he was catching bodies, and he had that mid-range game. I think he might be giving a little too much to saying that Ant has that Finley game, because Finley was nice. Like, he was real nice.
I mean, he was a more complete player, though, because he played in the 90s and early 2000s. I mean, and mid-range was something that everybody was trying to develop, especially the wing player. So,
yeah, because, Jordan had that influence on the game. Like, he's doing the mid-range. Reggie Miller had the mid-range. All these shooters had mid-range games, and players today, they don't really try to go for that mid-range. And it's kind of, it's just a better game to look at when you go back and look at the 90s games, in my opinion. Because me and my son, we go back and forth. He's an older guy. He's in the Air Force. And he was telling me about, they run further distances and all this stuff. And I'm like, look, man, if you watch the games, you can just tell the game speed is a lot faster in the 90s than it is today. I mean, they're jogging up and down the court, lackadaisical, and I thought it was going to be a good game tonight. But, I'm like, they tripping, man. It's like they packed it in. But when Charles Barkley was down 3-1 in the finals, he said they ain't winning tonight. And he went off, and they wind up beating the Bulls and taking them to 6 games.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like that mentality is just SGA is Mamba, Ant is LeBron, in my opinion. What do you think about that?
And you said Anthony Edwards is like LeBron?
Yeah, I mean, he has that look. I think the Olympics, LeBron, was all in his ear. And I think LeBron gives bad advice to the newer players coming up because he doesn't want them to surpass his legacy. But Kobe Bryant, there was a interview about Paul George. He went to Kobe Bryant to try to figure out how to be a better player in the postseason, because he was having some problems with, I forget which team he was playing against. But, Kobe went ahead and had this whole list of things he could do better. And then
so
Paul George wound up following that.
So here's the thing. The way Kobe approached the sport of basketball, I mean, you can hear it in that poem that he got a Grammy for, or Emmy for. He got an Emmy for that Dear Basketball poem he did. If you hear how he talk about it, and it's just not that poem. He talks like this in most of his interviews about basketball. Basketball is a person to him. It's like an entity that he dedicated his life to, and it gave so much to him. And in his retirement, he felt like he needed to give back to basketball. So when he taught people like Kyrie Irving, and when he opened the Mamba Academy and had Candace Parker there, and he was teaching Paul George and Kawhi Leonard and all these people that were showing up to the Mamba Academy, he was giving back to basketball. And that's how he, kept going. LeBron, I don't know if he looks at it like that. I think he looks at it like he's, like you said, he don't want nobody to surpass him. It's more important to him to be the GOAT, and it's more important to him to get all these records. You get what I'm saying?
Right. He's the stat guy.
This the last thing I use to compare it, just to see if it'll make sense to everybody. That movie, The Goonies. You remember when that kid was so serious about getting that treasure and going through the map, the one that really knew what he was talking about. He knew about One-Eyed Willie and all that stuff. You remember that movie, The Goonies?
Yeah.
So what did he do when
the main character?
Yeah, when they finally found the ship and they was taking all that gold, and then someone was about to take the gold that was beside One-Eyed Willie, what did he do? He stopped them and said, "No, leave that for One-Eyed Willie." He wasn't greedy, and he understood even One-Eyed Willie is not even living no more. His skeleton standing right there beside all these rubies and gold. No, leave that for One-Eyed Willie, because he respected One-Eyed Willie because he was studying the map and studying One-Eyed Willie so much that if it wasn't for him, they wouldn't have found the ship. So he felt like he knew One-Eyed Willie. That's how Kobe was. That's how he felt about basketball. LeBron don't feel like that. LeBron feel like, I'm selfish. I want all that gold. I want that gold. For someone to say I want Kareem's record, knowing that that's the only thing we remember Kareem for. I mean, we've been remembering Kareem for 30 years for being the top dog in scoring. Jordan didn't try to go get that record. Kobe didn't try to go get that record. They all retired and said, "Mom, I'm done. I gave it my all. It's time for me to go and give the game back to these young guys." LeBron can't even leave the game and give it to the young guys. And then he's saying, I want all the records I can get on my way out. Why take One-Eyed Willie's gold on your way out? Leave One-Eyed Willie's gold. You got enough.
Mm-hmm.
It's time for him to go. And he's trying to hog everything. And I think it's disrespectful to say, I want to go get Kareem's record. I would have retired. Now, if you get it just by chance, and you know what I mean, like you get it when you like 35, 36, but why say I'm going to play till I'm 44 or whatever? I'm going to play forever so I can go get that record. And you ain't even playing competitive basketball no more. Like, I think that's a very selfish thing. And that's the difference between people like LeBron and Kobe. And that's the difference between people like SGA and Edwards. You can tell Edwards is on, like you said, the type of timing that LeBron was on, and SGA is on the type of timing that Kobe was on. You see how SGA disrespected. You see how Edwards disrespected SGA at the press game, laughing at the stat sheet because of the free throws he was shooting.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, complaining all game and pointing why I can't get this foul, why he get that foul, throwing the basketball at him almost at his nuts while he was laying on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
McDaniels pushed him in the back because after the whistle was already blown. Like that type of stuff, you can't champion that, and you can't reward that. They're not a formidable person to host up as some type of champion or some type of example. Bad example. SGA, very professional. Said nothing but good things about Minnesota and Ant-Man. He didn't do none of that shit. He just came out and killed him with the basketball. That's the difference. But yeah, I appreciate the call, man.
Yeah, no doubt. Good analogy, and totally agree with you. And all right, have a good night. I just wanted to lay that on you with the, pause, with the stats, because it's just crazy to me, like how people are saying Ant is the next guy up and all this. And, I got friends that all up on Ant, and I'm like, look, man, SGA, I'm not saying he's got, he's like Kobe or anything like that, but I'm saying just his mentality is like an old school type of player. Like,
yeah, I agree.
He pays respects to the players that came before him, and he doesn't sound like a idiot when he's talking after the game. It's just, I just appreciate that. And SGA I became a fan of that man after the day. So
too easy.
Have a good night, and
all right, brother.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
All right, have a good night. All right.
All right, y'all. Good show, man. I appreciate everybody stopping by. Those who gave super chats, I appreciate it. Those who called in, I appreciate it as well. I appreciate all the comments. Make sure you hit the like button. If you haven't already hit it, do it right now. We should have at least 150 likes right now. So help me get to 150. If you haven't hit the like button, hit the like button like right now. I'll probably be live again after the Knicks game tomorrow. The Knicks and Pacers game, I'll probably be live again. What's tomorrow? Thursday? Yep. I'll be live again tomorrow after the Knicks game, y'all. So I'll check y'all out tomorrow, man. Hit the like button on the way out. Peace.